Hey everybody, John Green here. Today I want to open up about a topic that's deeply personal to me, and I believe it's something many of you might relate to. It's a journey that has shaped who I am today and has taught me invaluable lessons about life, resilience, and the human spirit. Let's talk about something we all experience at some point, but rarely discuss openly: depression. It's a word that carries a lot of weight and stigma, yet it's a reality for so many. We often see people around us smiling, laughing, and seemingly living their best lives, but beneath the surface there can be a world of pain and struggle that goes unnoticed. I'm not talking about feeling down for a day. I'm talking about that persistent darkness that clouds your every thought and action. It's like being trapped in a never-ending night where even the smallest glimmer of hope seems out of reach. This isn't just sadness, it's a profound sense of despair that can be all-consuming. For months, I felt lost in a fog. It was as if I was wandering through a dense, impenetrable mist, unable to see the path ahead. Every day felt like a battle just to get out of bed, to face the world, and to keep going, despite the overwhelming weight on my shoulders. Simple tasks became insurmountable mountains. Things that once brought me joy and satisfaction now felt like Herculean efforts. Even the act of brushing my teeth or making a meal seemed like climbing Everest. The energy and motivation that once fueled my days had vanished, leaving me in a state of perpetual exhaustion. Joy felt like a distant memory. I would look at old photos, trying to remember what it felt like to be genuinely happy, to laugh without a care in the world. But those moments felt like they belonged to someone else, a version of me that no longer existed. I knew something was wrong, but I couldn't pinpoint the cause. It was a gnawing feeling, an unsettling sense that my life was unraveling, but I couldn't put my finger on why. I felt like I was losing control, and the harder I tried to understand it, the more elusive the answers became. Was it my demanding job, my constant self-criticism, my dwindling bank account? Each of these factors seemed like a plausible culprit, but none of them fully explained the depth of my despair. It was as if I was trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see the full picture. The answer, as I discovered, was far more complex. It wasn't just one thing, it was a tangled web of issues, both internal and external, that had woven themselves into the fabric of my life. It was a combination of past traumas, present stresses, and future anxieties that had created a perfect storm of emotional turmoil. It was a combination of factors, a perfect storm of internal and external pressures that had pushed me to the brink. The relentless demands of my job, the constant pressure to succeed, the financial worries that kept me up at night, and the unrelenting self-criticism that eroded my self-esteem. All of these elements converged to create a maelstrom of despair. Join me as I share my personal journey of uncovering the real causes of my depression and the steps I took to reclaim my mental health. It wasn't an easy road, and there were many setbacks along the way, but through therapy, self-reflection, and the support of loved ones, I began to find my way out of the darkness. This isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, but I hope my experience can provide some insights and guidance for your own journey. Remember, it's okay to seek help, to talk about your struggles, and to take the time you need to heal. You're not alone in this, and there is hope, even in the darkest of times. One of my biggest struggles, and I'm sure many of you can relate, was body image. It's a topic that touches so many of us, regardless of age, gender, or background. We live in a world where the pressure to look a certain way is immense, and it can be incredibly overwhelming. Society bombards us with unrealistic ideals, making it easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism. From magazines to social media, we're constantly shown images of what we should look like, often airbrushed and unattainable. These images create a standard that is not only unrealistic, but also damaging to our self-esteem. I constantly compared myself to others, focusing on perceived flaws and imperfections. It felt like a never-ending cycle of self-doubt and insecurity. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw only what I thought was wrong with me, never what was right. I spent countless hours obsessing over my weight, my hair, my clothes. I scrutinized every detail, hoping to find some way to fit into the mold that society had created. It was a relentless pursuit of an ideal that was always just out of reach. It was exhausting and demoralizing. The constant pressure to conform took a toll on my mental and emotional well-being. I felt trapped in a cycle of negativity, unable to break free from the harsh judgments I placed on myself. The mirror became my enemy, reflecting back a distorted image of myself that fueled my insecurities. It was as if I couldn't see the real me, only a version that was flawed and inadequate. This distorted self-image affected every aspect of my life, from my relationships to my self-worth. But here's the thing, our bodies are not problems to be solved. They are not projects that need constant fixing. Our bodies are incredible, complex, and unique. They deserve to be celebrated, not criticized. They are vessels that carry us through life, deserving of love and respect regardless of shape or size. Our bodies allow us to experience the world, to move, to feel, to live. They are worthy of appreciation and care. I started challenging negative thoughts and replacing them with positive affirmations. It was a gradual process, but I began to shift my focus from what I disliked about my body to what I appreciated. I started to see my body as a source of strength and resilience. It wasn't easy, but gradually I began to appreciate my body for its strength, its resilience, its ability to experience the world. I learned to celebrate the things my body could do rather than fixate on how it looked. This shift in perspective was liberating. It's a work in progress, but I'm learning to embrace my imperfections and focus on what truly matters, my health and well-being. By prioritizing self-care and self-love, I'm finding a sense of peace and acceptance. It's a journey, but one that is worth taking. Remember, you are more than your appearance. You are valuable just as you are. Let's be real, work can be stressful. The constant hustle and bustle of the corporate world can be overwhelming. From the moment we step into our offices, we're bombarded with tasks, meetings, and emails that never seem to end. Deadlines, demanding bosses, long hours, it can all take a toll on our mental health. The pressure to perform and meet expectations can be suffocating. We often find ourselves caught in a never-ending cycle of work with little time to breathe or relax. I've always been ambitious, driven to succeed, but at what cost? The pursuit of success can sometimes blind us to the importance of our well-being. We push ourselves to the limit, ignoring the signs of burnout until it's too late. I found myself working late nights, sacrificing sleep and personal time to meet unrealistic expectations. The glow of my computer screen became a constant companion, and the line between work and personal life blurred. The pressure was relentless, and I felt like I was drowning in a sea of tasks and responsibilities. Each wave of work seemed to crash harder than the last, leaving me gasping for air. Burnout became my constant companion. It was like walking down a lonely road with no end in sight. The exhaustion was not just physical, but emotional and mental as well. I was exhausted, irritable, and completely drained of motivation. The joy I once found in my work was replaced by a sense of dread and frustration. I knew I couldn't continue down this path. It was clear that something had to change. I needed to take control of my life and prioritize my well-being. The first step was acknowledging that I was not invincible and that it was okay to ask for help. I needed to set boundaries, prioritize my well-being, and learn to say no. It was a difficult lesson, but an essential one. I started incorporating mindfulness practices like yoga and meditation into my daily routine to help manage stress. I started by delegating tasks, taking regular breaks, and setting realistic work hours. It wasn't easy at first, but gradually I began to see the benefits. My productivity improved, and I felt more in control of my life. It wasn't easy to break free from the cycle of overwork, but gradually I reclaimed my time and energy. I learned to listen to my body and mind, recognizing when I needed to rest and recharge. Remember, your worth is not defined by your productivity. It's important to find a balance between work and personal life. Taking time for yourself is not a sign of weakness, but a necessary step towards maintaining your overall health. It's okay to take a step back, recharge, and prioritize your mental health. In the end, a healthy, happy you is far more valuable than any deadline or project. So take a deep breath and remember to take care of yourself. Section 4, Love and Loss, Untangling Relationship Struggles. Relationships, whether romantic, familial, or platonic, are essential to our well-being, but they can also be a source of stress, conflict, and heartache. I've experienced my fair share of relationship struggles, from breakups and arguments to misunderstandings and unmet expectations. These experiences left me feeling hurt, frustrated, and unsure of myself. I realized that communication is key. Expressing my needs, setting boundaries, and actively listening to others help to improve my relationships. It's also important to recognize when a relationship is no longer serving us and to have the courage to walk away. Surrounding myself with supportive, loving people who uplift and encourage me has been instrumental in my mental health journey. Remember, you are not alone. Reach out to loved ones, seek professional help, and build a network of support. Section 5. Money matters. Navigating financial anxieties. Money. We all need it, but it can also be a major source of stress and anxiety. I've definitely had my fair share of financial ups and downs. From student loan debt to unexpected expenses, it often felt like I was barely keeping my head above water. The constant worry about bills, debt, and the future weighed heavily on my mind. I realized that I needed to take control of my finances. I started by creating a budget, tracking my spending, and exploring ways to increase my income. It wasn't about becoming rich, but about gaining a sense of security and peace of mind. Financial literacy is crucial for mental well-being. Educate yourself, seek professional advice, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Remember, small steps can lead to big changes.